Hello and welcome to the first video of 2025 for Craig Goes Cycling. I hope that you've all had a very good Christmas and a very happy new year, and that you've looked back on 2024, looked at what you've achieved, and then maybe looking forward into 2025 what your goals are for this coming year, and if you're racing, this coming season. So I'm just starting off today with a little gentle ride on Zwift. I was going to go outside, but let's be honest, it's cold, it's raining, it's windy, and I'm going to be honest, I'm not feeling that today. So jumped on Zwift, do a little bit, sort of an hour and a half on here, and then I do have to look at my weight a little bit this year. Since I went on holiday in September, weight has crept up, not massively, but I normally hover around 13 stone 10 pounds, so what's that, about 89 kg, which, you know, is pretty good for me, but I've sort of crept up to just over 14 stone, so I'm guessing that's probably about 95, 96 kg, and I want to get back to where I should be, around about 13.9, 13.10. So I think what I'm going to do to make sure I'm accountable for this, because I have a bad habit of just slipping into my old ways, and my old ways are eating biscuits and crisps. So if I'm doing it on here and documenting it, I'm more likely to stick to it because it's keeping me accountable. So after this ride, I'll get a shower and then we'll get the scales out. Moment of truth, see where I actually am after the Christmas and New Year celebrations, and then lay out some targets of where I'd like to get to and when I'd like to get to them. So yeah, we'll see what the moment of truth will be in about an hour and a half, 2 hours time when I get on the scale. So right, I'm going to crack on with this ride. I do have Lilyhammer on Netflix to keep me company. Programme I watched about 5-6 years ago. Really enjoyed it. Forgotten how good it was. Got back into it a couple of days ago. So a bit of cycling, watch Lilyhammer, and then we'll get on the scales. All right, I'll see you in a bit. Right, here we have the moment of truth. Let's stand on the scales and see what we've got. Oh God, I don't think I want to look at this. Let's just step back on them. Yeah. Well, when I'm stood still, that's 14. Let's have a little view out of the window really, so you don't need to see me. 14 stone 6.5 pounds. Oh well. Right, well that's my starting point. 14 stone 6. I've gained quite a bit of weight since our holiday in September. I didn't mind gaining the weight after holiday because I was kind of trying to lose weight and I don't think I was eating enough to train properly. So when I started eating more food, I was gaining weight, but I was training better and I was getting stronger. But now, yeah, I need to get some of that. I mean, a lot of that, I'm not as worried as I could be, because a lot of that weight is going to be water retention from the kind of crappy foods I've been eating. Well, no, let's rephrase that. No food is crappy. It's the amount you eat it in which can be crappy. So I have eaten a lot of carb dense foods, so I will have retained quite a little bit of water. Maybe say, you know, take a pound and a half of that out for water retention. So say I'm down to 14 stone 5-ish, get back down to 13 stone 10. Yeah, well, that's it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to plot it on here on YouTube, so I'm accountable. So it's easy, because I do struggle sometimes, but it's quite easy for me to just fall back into my old ways. And when I'm at work, I nip out to Sainsbury's at lunchtime to get something to eat. I'll get chicken and rice, something which is, you know, pretty good. But then I'm walking past the bakery aisle and I see the chocolate shortbread chip cookies. So I buy a pack of those. I only eat one of them. I give the others to the lads at work as well, so I don't eat all of myself. But that happens more often than it should do. So time to be a little bit better with food. So I have to start prepping food for work again, which I have done in the past. So, I mean, I know losing weight, I know how to do it. I know the mechanics behind it. It's calorie deficit. It's dead simple. It's just a case of me sticking to it, and me documenting it will make me stick to it a lot better, I hope. Fingers crossed. Let's see how long it takes to get this weight off. A little bit of an update on the weight thing there. So I was 14 stone 6 and a quarter pounds, I think it was. Well, afterwards I thought, well, I'd got some like pajama bottoms on, so I've quickly lost half a pound by just taking the pajama bottoms off and wearing myself au naturel, as it were. So I'm not as worried about that weight gain as I might have been. Oh, and by the way, if you're looking, I've bought myself some of these new little microphone things, so I'm just seeing how these sound, the Rode Go 2 ones, and little interviewer's mic. So yeah, sorry about that. I'm just sort of seeing how it looks. So I'm not really too worried about the weight gain, because normally after Christmas, I normally sort of go into Christmas around about 13, 12, and I come out to the other side around about 14.3, 14.4. So I'm not massively above where I normally am coming out of the Christmas holidays. So yeah, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, and I know I can get this down relatively quick if I stick to my goals and my plans and my food prep, and not get caught up in, like I said earlier, going to Sainsbury's and going down the bakery aisle buying croissants more than I should be doing. There's no harm in keeping those in my diet because I enjoy them, and there is no point in cutting out everything that you enjoy and just sticking to a really strict diet or trying to stick to it, because you stick to it for maybe a week and a half, and then you realise you're getting bored because you're not eating the stuff that you enjoy. So for me, and I think for many other people, the best part of this, the trick is to keep things in there that you do enjoy, but you've got to keep them inside your calories, your calorie count for the day, and your macros for the day. So when I am starting to need to look to lose weight, the biggest thing I do that I can do is my lunch at work is a pretty big one. I just stick to like chicken breasts or chicken thighs and roasted vegetables, whilst it gives me like a calorie count of about, I don't know, 350 to 400 calories for the meal. It's packed full of protein. It's got all the nutrients I need in there, and it will keep me going. It will keep me full. I have porridge in the morning. I have that, the chicken and roasted vegetables and potatoes for my lunch, and then I stick to a relatively healthy meal at night as well. So I know I can consume around about 2,200 calories a day and still be training relatively well. I know that when I'm training at my hardest, when I'm doing the sessions that Ewan sets for me, I do need to have a higher calorie count than 2,200. It's maybe 2,500 a day, but I know that I can be losing weight at that. I do need to get back down to around 13 stone 10. So I've got like 9 pounds I need to lose. So what's that, about 4.5 kg, something like that. Which I work on a pound a week is a decent goal to be going for. It's easily achievable, and it's not going too much. Sometimes people go, I want to lose 2 or 3 pounds a week, but you can't do that and sustain it. It's not healthy. So if I go for a pound a week and I've got 9 to get rid of, that's, by the end of February, middle of March, I'm back down to where I need to be, and I'm going to try and log it. I will do a weigh-in every week. I don't want to get caught up on numbers too much, because I understand that your weight fluctuates day by day. I'm going to try and weigh myself at the same point of every day, so my body is pretty much in the same state as it is every time. So I'll probably do that in the morning before I get, once I've got up and before I go to work. I'll sort of do a weekly thing just to see where I'm going. I will update it on here, and after like a couple of weeks, you can see if you're losing quick enough and if you're not, and you can have a look as to maybe I need to up the exercise a little bit, or maybe I need to drop the calories a little bit, but can't drop the calories too much because I need to have enough energy to be able to train every, sort of 4 sessions a week and a club ride as well. So yeah, it's going to be interesting over the next month to see month and a half, and hopefully by the time the first of the house race series race team crits come about at Darley Moor, which I'm going to be guessing is going to be around about the middle of March. I haven't seen any dates announced yet. I should be back down to where I need to be, and I'll be able to fit in a large skin suit rather than the XL, which I've been wearing for the last couple of weeks. But then that sort of moves me on to my goals. So the house race team crits, they start again, like I say, it should be March. That's what I'm expecting it to be. Hopefully there'll be 8 or 9 rounds of those throughout the year. Last year I scored 12 points. I did miss, sort of 4 or 5 races because of the accident and the second race of the season. So I scored 12 points. After speaking to Ewan a couple of months ago, just after, it was probably about a month after the last race, after I got my Cat 3 licence, talking to Ewan, my plans, what we wanted for the remainder of 2024, which was a hill climb, and then what I'm looking for doing into 2025. I said I want to score 1 more point than I did. I want to score 1 more point, so I want to score 13 as opposed to 12 last year. But he was a little bit more optimistic and says, no, I want you to score 20. So 20 points in Cat 3, that's a big challenge for me, I think. That's a really big challenge. Can I do it? I don't know. I'll give it my best shot. But what I need to look at, I need to be maybe a little bit more clever about how I look at this year. Hopefully, I will stay injury-free. That's the first thing. Stay injury-free, and I've got a good chance of hopefully getting in some top 10s. Now, I don't have to be scoring 7, 8 points in a race. I know I'm not going to be at the sharp end of it. My first thing to do is to not get dropped in a Cat 3 race. That's my first objective. Don't get dropped. So once I feel a bit more comfortable in a Cat 3 race, maybe I can sneak a couple of 9th or 10th places. Just pick up 1 point here or there. And if I do 20 races throughout the season, maybe I can get my 20 points. There's also Masters races, which I think after competing in the last Masters race last year, and that was the one that finally got me my last 3 points to get my Cat 3 licence. Maybe I've got a little bit more confidence, and I can do that. I will enter some more Masters races. So the more races I can enter, the more chance I've got of scoring the 20 points and showing Ewan that I can do it. My personal achievement is 13. Ewan's is 20 for me. So we'll see where that brings me. On top of that, I'm hoping that Melton Olympic will be doing some more crits down at Leicester. I'm hoping that Ashby Ivanhoe road cyclists will also do, I know they did one last year at Leicester, which I missed, unfortunately. But if I can get a few of those in and maybe try and get over to Kerbera on a Friday night during the summer, but it's a little bit more difficult for me to get over there because I work on sort of the east side of Nottingham, so to get from there over to Kerbera in time for the races on a Friday night is not going to be easy. I might have to look at getting away from work a bit earlier if I can. I'm going to have a look at the East Midlands Road Race League as well and see what races I fancy doing there. I'm hoping there might be 1 or 2 that are on flatter circuits than the one I did last year, which was around Melbourne and Ticknall, which was just... I was an absolute brute. I'm not built, certainly as I am now, I'm definitely not built for that course, for those hills. So I'll have a look at, hopefully they'll do some maybe flatter ones than that, which I can do a couple of EMRRL races as well. There's a couple of the West Midlands ones as well that I think some of the guys from Vela Bavarian have been looking at doing. So yeah, I'm going to maybe broaden my horizons a little bit and try and get away from just racing at Darley-Moor and Leicester, which is pretty much what I've done for the last 2 years. And we'll see how this year goes in Cat 3. My expectations aren't massively high. I think if I enter enough races, then 20 points may well be possible, but it's going to be a tough call. I'm under no illusions that to get a top 10 finish in the Cat 3 race is going to take a lot of work and a lot of training. So you never know. One day I might get lucky. I might get in a breakaway, who knows, and just get dragged along. But I'm under no illusions about how difficult this is going to be, because I've seen other people when they've moved from Cat 4 to Cat 3. It's not always that easy. Just staying with the group is going to be my first objective, like I say. And then once I know I can stay with the group, then that's when I have to sort of up my game a little bit and maybe look towards, right, can I steal a point here in this race and that race, whatever. It's going to be an interesting season. I'm going to try and do a couple of time trials as well. I don't think I did any time trialing this year. No, I don't think I did. So Ilkeston Cycle Club do some over at Windley in Derbyshire, and then East Leek, which is the East Leek course they use is not far from where I work. That's on a I don't know if that's a Tuesday or a Thursday night, I think. So hopefully I'll try and get into a couple of those. And then last year I missed every one of the 5 Ilkeston Cycle Club hill climbs in the summer. That was just through being so busy at work. So hopefully this year I'll be able to compete in, if not all of them, the majority of them. They're events that I really like taking part in. And then I need to put Boxing Day right at the end of this year as well. I was not happy with how I performed at Boxing Day this year. I don't know what happened. I got 2/3 of the way up. I was 2 to 3 seconds up on my personal best. And then I just blew to pieces. My legs absolutely went, and I crossed the line absolutely worn out, absolutely shattered, and quite embarrassed, actually. My performance was not what I expected and not what other people thought I could do and what they expected of me as well. So I need to put that right. And I think no matter how well I do this season in whatever races, however many points I score, none of that is going to put to bed the disappointment that I felt on Boxing Day, because I felt horrible. I've told people I was okay about it, like the day after, but I wasn't. It was several days before I could start feeling, look at it a little bit more objectively maybe, and say, okay, we're not machines. I think it was Luke Frixu from VB said to me, we're men, we're not machines. Sometimes we don't operate to our full potential. Kind of made me feel a little bit better, but not totally. There's only one way I can make myself feel fully better from that, and that is to perform better on Boxing Day this year. So, but that's a long way off yet. That's at the end of the year. It's here with January the 1st. So yeah, there's a long way to go until I can put that right, and there's a lot can happen in between then. So I'm optimistic for this year. I'm optimistic. I'm looking forward to getting racing again. I can't wait for House Race Team to put their dates out, because I really want to get those locked into the calendar and just know exactly what I'm training for and when they're going to be. And then, try and get on some more club rides with Vela Bavarian, because I didn't really get on many club rides last year. And that's pretty much it. So I want to get some time trials done this year, which I didn't do. And for that, I need to get my TT bike fitted to me. I've had that for over 2 years now. Still haven't ridden it. Got a speeding ticket on my way to pick the damn thing up as well. So that bike cost me a little bit more money than it should have done, and it almost cost me 3 points on my licence. But luckily, I did one of those speed awareness courses, because that's my first time caught speeding since about 1994. So I did quite well there. So right, that's it then, I think, for this video. So I will be documenting my training a little bit more, and also how I'm going on losing when I say losing weight, it's not losing weight, it's losing body fat, because you can lose weight quite easily by just cutting out carbs and getting rid of water, but that doesn't really help anybody. So I'm going to try and document my next couple of months at trying to get my weight back down, and I think by documenting it and being accountable on here, that's something that's going to help me stick to what I need to do. So, okay, well, if you've got this far in the video, thank you very much. I've probably rambled a little bit at times, but I would like to say, for all those of you who have been watching my videos for this last year, since I think I did my first one round about end of January 2024, so almost a year ago now, thank you very much for watching the videos in this last year. Thank you for all the comments, the likes, the new subscribers, and my video from Boxing Day. It's been up for 6 days, no, 5 days maybe now, and it's my best performing video on YouTube. It's on over 3,000 views already, and that absolutely made my day to see so many people have watched that, and I've had comments from people saying how much they've enjoyed it. So hopefully I can create some more good content. I've got some other ideas for other content this year as well. So watch this space. We'll see what happens. So if you would like, drop down below, like and subscribe, and I will see you in a video very shortly. All right, take care everybody. If you're out there on the roads, please ride safe and get home in one piece.